How does a computer work? Well, let's talk about that. Alright. One of the most important parts of a computer is the processing unit. CPU, computer processing unit. What it does is, it's the thing with a bunch of transistors in it, and it pretty much takes the data.
What's this? It's post-production, Stephen. So, yeah, I got the computer processor wrong. So how the computer processor works is, it kind of just does calculations. So, like, if you needed to calculate 1 plus 1, you would tell your CPU to do that with your BIOS, or, yeah, with your input devices. And then that's how it will work. And I'm sorry about the footage that I used, it was the only one that I could get. Do you like my new microphone? I sure do. ASMR in the future, am I right?
Motherboard. That's where pretty much everything plugs into. So you'll get your CPU, you put it into the motherboard, and then you can connect it to other things. It also handles the I/O, having the BIOS on it. What the BIOS does is it kind of just processes stuff. So it's the basic input-output chip. What it does is with your keyboard, so it'll take an A on your keyboard or a movement on your mouse, and it'll send it off to the computer processing unit to do something on, I don't know, your screen or something.
Graphics cards. Yes, graphics.
Well, these are pretty basic. They do graphics. They render things onto screens. They can also do physics and calculations because they have processing cores in them. So, one of the big things about graphics stuff now is that a lot of consumer-grade computers, we're not talking prosumer or gaming, just consumer, they have, well, internal graphics cards in the motherboard. So with Intel, almost all of their motherboards has HDMI, VGA, DVI, one of those or all of them, sometimes even DisplayPort now, and it just crams them all in there, and that chip is pretty much good if you don't want a video game, but I mean it's not too good for, like, it's not as powerful as an external graphics cards. Now, external graphics cards. What's an external graphics card? Well, it's kind of like an internal graphics card, just it plugs into the PCIe or PCI ports pretty much. And it can handle graphics, and it'll communicate with the CPU, and it'll do so much more stuff. RAM. Alright. What does RAM do? Well, pretty much. Well, okay, I guess we have to find out what RAM is first. Well, RAM stands for Random Access Memory. That's the way. Random Access Memory. Anyway, what it does is it pretty much stores files that need to be randomly accessed. So let's say you're playing a video game, and you have parts of your save, and that is stored on the RAM. But RAM, firstly, it doesn't have a lot of storage. So, like, you'll commonly find systems these days 4 gigs, 8, 16 gigs, 128 gigs has been done. It's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. But it's really fast. That's the thing about it. It's fast. All right. So, especially DDR4. I mean, DDR3 is also fast, but don't use DDR2, that's all. And it's not very well supported. But, so pretty much, it's storage, but it's fast and volatile. It could go on you any second. Well, actually, probably not, but still. What it does is, if power gets cut to it, thank you editing guys, well, if the power gets cut, your data's gone. RAM disks are a thing though, where you can just put your data onto your RAM. And but every time you turn off and on your computer, you have to kind of copy all of the stuff back onto the RAM. That can be done automatically or manually. Who cares? Free country, am I right? Yay. 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 Alright, so now, sound. How does the sound on your computer work? Well, there's a couple of ways. Firstly, over USB. That's one of the modern ways where you just plug an external DAC, digital to analog converter in. I'm going to make a video on that probably in the next month. And as soon as I do that, it's going to be right here. Right up there in that corner. Yeah, you'll be able to see that shit. Anyway, internal sound cards. So, I'm going to be talking about PCIe sound cards for now. What these do is they process sound and they can be used for more advanced sound. They also should have RF shielding on that. What's that? Radio frequency. So pretty much the electromagnetic radiation from the motherboard, warning, big words coming up, pretty much it creates waves that go into the sound card, and if the sound card's on the motherboard, then it can come out as a whine, a screech, because analog signals can be interrupted quite easily. You know, static on your TV? Yeah, well, that's a form of, interference. Okay, so another thing about sound cards is that they're very nice for recording because, they can process it. And they also have a DAC on the inside, but over USB, you require more drivers and software to handle it. So it can get more laggy, but I don't know, there's a big competition on the internet. Sound card DAC on board. On board isn't really, a lot of people still use it, but, for the enthusiasts. Yeah. What does a hard drive do? Well, it stores data. Now, hard drives are getting a bit old now because we've got solid state drives. You see, hard drives, HDDs, hard drive disks, what they do is they have a spinning disk and they've got an arm which goes over that disk. And that arm reads the data off the disk. That's great. Moving parts. Problems with moving parts? Well, firstly, moving generates friction and heat. So that kind of ruins it. Secondly, there's more room to break, so yay. And one of the big benefits of hard drives though is that they can store a lot of data. We've got the Seagate 10 terabyte helium drives. They run in a helium environment so that the disk can spill faster and store more data. And it has 10 terabytes, yes. You've got, just your basic USB external hard drive. These things can hold up to, I've seen 3, 4, 5 terabytes of these. This one just holds 1 though. You've got, other forms of storage like the SD card that this is being recorded. That's a form of flash memory. Flash memory is just solid state memory. No moving parts. Unless you count electricity as a moving part. Because it still moves, just in a different way. But that's pretty great. SSDs, they are fast, but they have a limited amount of write cycles, which pretty much means you can take the data off it pretty much as you want until the drive crashes, but you can't put as much data as you want before it starts degrading and degrading. I mean, modern SSDs have massive write cycles, like hundreds of thousands, but it's another. Is there any other kinds of storage? Well, yeah! You've got tapes! You guys may be thinking, tapes? What are we living in? The 80s? Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, what a tape does is it's a magnetic form of storage, so kind of like a floppy disk. In fact, a floppy disk is just a tape, which is just inside a case. That's a 3.5 inch ones, I guess. That's a 3.25. Anyway. The great thing about tapes is they can store shit tons of data. they're used to archive storage where you don't need fast data, but you need reliable, which they are. They can last. I don't know, I've got this Deep Purple tape that I bought a couple of years ago. It's still running. It was made in the 80s, so yay. And well, they still, as I said, shit tons. You've got 15 terabyte tapes. That's massive. And then they're also cheap. I mean, you can get a 10 terabyte hard drive, but it's less reliable than a tape because, I mean, it's going to be spinning a lot. And it's also more expensive, so, I mean, if you don't need really fast data storage, go for tapes. I mean, but don't use tapes in, like, every day, because, like, this is for, like, big companies, like Google, Twitter, I don't know, Facebook, CNET. But yes, that's storage for you. It's intense. Oh shit! Should really stop doing that. Right, I forgot a kind of storage. Optics. Yes, I'm talking about discs. The optical drive is kind of forgotten now. I mean, we can get everything online. Why would we need one? Well, I don't know, I've got a bunch of old CDs that I need to get rid of. But it pretty much uses lasers to write onto a disc. Like an actual spinning. It's like a hard drive, just it doesn't use a metallic arm to read stuff. It uses lasers! I like lasers, they're cool. But I mean, don't take one of them apart because the radiation from one of those lasers, if you turn it on, can take out your eyes. Yeah, don't do that. Right, so that's optical stuff. Thank you everybody for watching. It's been a very nice day talking to you. Talking about talking to you. I'm not sponsored by anyone, aren't I? Aww. Like, comment and subscribe.